Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining the webinar on learning the fundamentals and application of trigonometry with me. I'm Nitesh Negi and I'm your math tutor for this webinar. In this 45 minutes, we will spend the first 30 minutes on learning the concepts of trigonometry, and in the end, we will give 10 to 15 minutes for the question and answer round and for your doubt also. And this webinar is presented by the Tutorai. This Tutorai is an online tutoring platform that aims to provide result-oriented online tutoring to students from K to 12. And our goal is to periodically present webinar for students addressing the latest educational and trends impacting online tutoring and education industry. So let's just start started with our topic, and our today's topic is trigonometry. As you know, trigonometry is used in a variety of fields. As you can see here, we can use this either by measuring the height of the bridges or the tall buildings, even the slides, the slope of those slides, how much length it should be, we can find by using the trigonometry. So let's get started. The introduction for the trigonometry. So trigonometry is derived from the three words, which is a tri, which means three, gon means sides, and metron means measures. So the trigonometry means the measures of three sides and the relationship with this, the angle of those triangles. You have to be sure that it should always be applied to the right angle triangles, not for the every other triangles. Okay, so this is the main thing here. So, and now the uses of trigonometry. How we can use trigonometry in our daily life and what are the applications of it. As we have already discussed, let us have some more applications. So we have, as we have already discussed, that the height of the buildings we can find, even we can find the height of the mountains by using the trigonometric concepts. We can use it in constructions, in navigation in a sea. It is widely used in physics and engineering. It will always be used in marine biology. In marine biology, we always use this as to find the length or the height of the mammal or a fish in the sea. And in criminology, it is also used. And in math itself, it can be used to simplify the complex equations and integrals of mathematics. So this is all about the trigonometry and all the applications. Now let's go on to the trigonometric fundamentals. So this is the most important thing in the trigonometric, the trigonometric ratios. So in trigonometric ratios, before we start this, let us learn some things which are very much useful in this. As you can see here, we have this right angle triangle ABC, and it has an angle 90 degree at B vertex. So in all the questions, it will always be given that at which vertex the 90 degree angle will be formed, and the other two vertices are just other two angles, and they will always say that to which angle we have to actually find the trigonometric ratio. From this triangle, I have assumed that I will find the trigonometric ratio for that angle which will be formed at vertex C. So that's why I mentioned it as a phi. And now we should know that, as you can see here, it is written that opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, always you know already that hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angle triangle, which will always be the opposite side of the 90 degree angle. And these opposites and adjacent things are interchangeable according to the vertex. As you can see here, this C vertex, so the AB side is opposite to it, so that's why we have said this opposite, and BC side is adjacent. But if I want to find opposite for the angle A or the angle at A, so the opposite side will be BC for that, and adjacent will be AB. So now let us learn what are the trigonometric ratios. So we have 6 trigonometric ratios. The first one is sine. So sine is basically the ratio of the opposite and the hypotenuse side of a triangle. And in this particular case, it will be an AB over AC. And we have a reciprocal side for this sine, which is a cosecant. So cosecant and sine are reciprocal for each other. So cosecant will be AC over AB. That means hypotenuse over opposite. So now the next will be cosine. And cosine is an BC over AC, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So you have to learn this. And now the reciprocal will be secant, and this secant is the just hypotenuse over adjacent, which is AC over BC. So these are the four, and we have two more. One is tangent. Tangent will be an opposite over adjacent, and cotangent will be adjacent over opposite. So these are the trigonometric ratios which you should learn. And just let me know that if you have any doubt so far, or does everything make sense to you, so as we can proceed further. I know that most of the students found difficulty to learn these ratios, so we have a short trick or a trick method for that. We will discuss that also. So just let me know if you have any. And for asking this, you can raise your hand in this. You have a raise your hand option in the more option of your Zoom meeting. So you can raise your hand for that. So if you are finding a difficulty to learn that what should be the sine ratio, what should be the cosine ratio or tangent ratio, you can always learn this statement. If you can learn this statement, you can easily learn what should be the ratio of this. As you can see that the statement says, student of Henry can ask him to oppose anxiety. So we just have to take the first letter of every word. So the first three letters are S, O and H. So S stands for the sine, O stands for the opposite, and H stands for hypotenuse. So it will easily be learned that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. In the second line, you can see the letters which are bold is C, A and H. So it will be cosine is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So by this thing, we can easily learn what should be the trigonometric ratios are. And we just have to learn three because we know the other three are just the reciprocal. So in this way, we can find all the trigonometric ratios by just learning this one statement. So I think this will help you a lot in learning this process. So is it clear everything to all of you? Okay, so I'm guessing that everyone has got this because no one is asking anything. So let's jump on to the next thing. So let's solve this question which is regarding to the trigonometric ratios. So the question is that in a triangle element right angled at M, so the see that they have given that to which vertex we should have the right angle. So at M we should have a right angle, and they have given the two sides that LM will be 11 feet and MN will be 60 feet. So we have to find all the trigonometric ratios for angle L. So here they have also given that for which angle we have to find the trigonometric ratio, as we have discussed it. So first of all, we have to draw a triangle element, and we have to show that all these things, that 90-degree angle will be at M, and the LM will be the 11 feet and MN will be the 60 feet. So these are we have to. But here you can see we have LN. We do not have the LN side, so we have to find this. And how we can find? For this, we can use the Pythagoras theorem. The famous Pythagoras theorem, you should already know that. If not, we can learn it here also. So Pythagoras theorem basically is the square of hypotenuse. In this case, the hypotenuse is ln, will be equals to the sum of the square of the other two sides. That means lm square and lmn square. If we square the sides and add them, and we only square the ln side, then those two will be equal. So according to Pythagoras theorem, ln square should equals to lm square plus mn square. So we have to just put in the values for lm and mn. So it is 11 square and 60 square, and we know that 11 square is 121 and this 60 square is 3600. So when we are adding these, we are getting 3721. But that's the value for the ln. But we have to find the value for the only ln. It's not the square of that side. We have to find the value for ln only. So we have to take a square root of both the sides. So if we are taking square root, we will be getting 61 as in. So the value for the third side, which is the hypotenuse in this case, will be 61 feet. And now we can easily find all the values for trigonometric ratio of angle L. So first of all, we have to decide that which side should be in opposite and which side should be adjacent. So angle N, as you can see that this is an angle N. So MN will be opposite to it and LM will be adjacent. And 61 is already, we know that it's an hypotenuse because in this Pythagoras theorem we have used that. So now everything will be fine and very much easy for us to find that. So let's find the first ratio, which is a sine ratio. Sine will be opposite over hypotenuse, and here it will be mn over ln. So that means the answer should be 60 over 61. This is the answer for the sine, and if we can find the value for the sine, we can easily find the value for the cosine also. So that will be adjacent over hypotenuse. But before that, we should find the value for the reciprocal of sine, which is a cosecant. So cosecant will be simply 61 by 60. And we have already discussed that cosine will be adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 11 by 60. And the reciprocal of cosine is secant, and that will be 61 by 11. So that's an easy thing. And now we have a tangent. So tangent will be 60 over 61 because it's hypotenuse over adjacent, and cotangent will be an inverse of this. That means 11 by 60. So this is the way to find the trigonometric ratios in any right angle triangle if we have all the three sides. But we can have angle also. If the angle is given, then how we can find the trigonometric ratio? For that, we have to learn this table. Or standard angles. So these are just the standard angles, as this is the 0 degree, 30 degree, 45, 60 and 90. For these, we must learn the values for that. But other than this, if we have an angle just like a 43 or a 55 or a 75, for that we can use the calculator. So this is a calculator designed for specifically these kinds of things. So here we can use the concept, and we can use this thing in order to find the values. As you can see, this thing, these three buttons, this is a sine, cosine and tan. If you press sine, you will get the function sine, and you have to put in the angle, and in this case it's 30, but you can put any values just like 75 and you will get the answer for that. So it's that easy. So this is the way to which we can find all the trigonometric ratio. So just let me know that all the things that make sense to you, everything about the ratios, if we can find using the sides or using the calculator or this table. If you have any doubt with these things, you can ask me now, or if you want to ask in the end, that can also be possible. Just let me know if you have any doubt till now. I'll be waiting for a few seconds for you. Okay, so I guess that you must be asking in the end, all of you. Okay, so let me take few examples, or you can say the application of these things. So now the applications, as you can see, the question will be used in real life problems. That is basically the application. You can see that there is a question of real life problem that they are saying from top of a building of height 45 meters. So the height they have given for the tall building and the angle of depression. So here I want to make sure that you should know what is an angle of depression, and the other thing which we should learn is angle of elevation. So before solving this question, I will be giving you some basic thing. Let us suppose that this is your eye level parallel to the ground. Okay, and just suppose that you are from here, your eye is here. I can make a small eye. So this is our eye level or our sight of our eye. If we are seeing anything which is above this, that angle will be called as angle of elevation. If we are seeing downwards, so this angle will be the angle of depression. So we have always make sure that we should measure those angles to the parallel eye level to the ground. So these are the two things we should know about it. Okay, now let us solve the question. So the question is, the angle of depression is for the small tower is 50 degree. So we must draw the 45 meter tall building, and then we have a small tower of 15 meter, and the angle of depression is 15. So as you can see, the dotted line will show the eye level, the path which is parallel to the ground, and that angle will be 50 degree. Now they have asked that what should be the distance between the two buildings. So how we can do this? We will use the concept of trigonometric ratios. And how we can do that? Let's suppose that distance is d. If that distance is d, so we can find simply that the tangent of that 50 degree angle will be the opposite over adjacent. And in this case, opposite will be 30. But some of the students will ask me that what should be the 30 meter is not given in this question. So you can observe that this 15 meter height of the building and the 45 is the height of the tall building. So if we subtract the 15 from that, we will get the height of that triangle which is formed for the 50 degree. So that is 30. Okay, so that's how we will get the value for the 30. And for 50 degree, it's not a standard question. So that means we must use the calculator in order to find that. So using the calculator, tangent, the value is 1.1917. Now it is very much easy for us to find the distance. We just have to solve this equation. So solving this, we should divide 30 and that value of tangent 50. So by dividing, we will be getting 25.1741. And that's how we find the distance between the two buildings. So this is the process. So we have to make a diagram for it or a figure for it, so as we can solve the questions very easily. Because if we do not frame the figure, we will not be able to imagine how we should continue with the question. So let us take one more example. So now the next example is from the marine biology. So John is a marine biologist and he wanted to measure the length of a blue whale. So here you can learn how we can measure the length of the blue whales, as we know that they are the largest mammal in the world. So what he doing? He measuring the angle of depression of the head and tail using the clinometer. And clinometer is the instrument by which we are actually finding the angles. Okay, we do not find by other, we find it by using the clinometer. So the angle of depression for the head and tail are 60 and 30 respectively. knowing the depth at which the blue whale is swimming. So we know that at which depth the blue whale is swimming, so which is 85 feet. So, and the angle of depressions we know. So let's start how we can solve this. So first of all, we have to frame a diagram for this. So the first thing we have to see that the position of John. So let us suppose, because he must be in a ship or a cruise, so that means the angle should be measured from the ocean level, or you can the sea level. So that line is of the sea level, and the depth is 85 feet at which this blue whale is swimming. So now the angle of depression of the head is 60 degree. So I'll make that, and this is a right angle triangle forming. So we can use the trigonometric concepts also. And other thing we can use that this is also a 30 degree, which is the angle of depression for the tail. And you might be wondering that 60 degrees is written here. So for that, you must know that this line and this line are parallel to each other, and the angle which I already I can show that this angle is a 60 degree. So these two angles are alternate interior angles. So that's why I've taken this angle as a 60 degree. So now we have just want this thing, we do not want anything else. So we have to find this BC. If we can find this BC, we will be able to find the length of that blue whale. So let's get started with this. So we have two triangles here, one with the angle of 60 degree and one with the angle of 30 degree. So we have to use the trigonometric ratios for 60 and 30 itself. So let us take in triangle AOB. So A must be this point, because in triangle AOB we want to use that. So tan 60 degree, it should be that AO, that is the opposite for 60 degree, and OB, which is the adjacent for that. So tan 60 degree, we have just put in the values for this. So tan 60 we know from the table which we have shown you, it's √3, and OA is 85. We can easily find the value for the OB. So we have found the OB, and similar way, in exact similar way, we can find the value of OC. You can see if AOC, then AOC it might be tan 30 degree, which is 85 over OC, and the tan 30 degree is basically 1 by √3. So by this way, we are finding the OC is equals to 100. And now in order to find the length BC, what we should do? We should subtract OB from OC in order to find this length. So this is the way, and if we subtract these two values, we will be getting the length of that blue whale. So that is come out to be 51.38413, and we can approximate this value up to 2 decimal places, and that would be 51.38 only. That's how we can use this concept in marine biology also. So now let us go to the whiteboard and let's solve this question. So this is a question in which they have given the Henry wants to measure the height of a building. So in order to measure the height of a building, we must know some things. So first of all, we have to draw a diagram for it. So let's make a diagram. So then we have to find the height of a building. So that means we must draw a line here, and suppose that this line is representing that tall building. He walks away 70 feet. So that means from this point, he is walking away from this building. You can take either side, or the left or a right side. I am taking the left, and he's looking up, and the angle of elevation is 43 degree. So that means from here, the angle of elevation should be 43 degree. So let's just make this. This is a 43 degree, and this distance is 75 feet. And let us suppose that the height of the building is h. Now, we can use the same concepts which we have already learned, that here we have to use a trigonometric ratio in order to find this. But now we have to decide by which trigonometry we use. Now the 43, h is an opposite and this 75 is a adjacent. So in order to solve this, we must use the tan ratio or cotangent, because those two ratios involve the opposite and adjacent. So let us use the tan. So I'm using tan. So tan 43 degree is equals to h over 75. And if you want me to name this first, so let us name this. This is an A, B and C. So tan 43 will be AB over BC. And the value for AB is h and the value for this BC is 75. Now in order to find the value of h, we should first find the value of tan 43 degree, and which we can find using the calculator. So using calculator, this tan 43 will be approximately equals to 0.9325, and that will equals to h over 75. And in order to find the h, we should multiply these two things, which is 0.9325. And if we multiply these two things, we will get the answer, which will be 69.9375 feet. So this is your height of this building. And that's how we can solve all the questions in trigonometry. And we just have to take care about the angle and the sides, and we can solve all questions. So just let me know if you have any doubt in this question or any doubt in the previous questions which we have done. Just let me know. If you have any doubts, I'm opening the doubt session for you. Any doubt in any kind of a topic? Okay, Ashutosh, you have a doubt. Just you can unmute yourself and just ask your question.
Well, I'd just like to know that how would we calculate tan 43 actually? I didn't get
tan 43, yeah, I will be telling you. The tan 43 is not the standard angle, so we cannot use that table in order to find that. So I have discussed that we can use the calculator for it. So we have a scientific calculator, and which we can. Okay, let me, I can show you the slide for you. Let me show the slide. Yeah, so this was the slide which we can have. In this slide, we have discussed that how we can find the trigonometric ratios. So let me revise that. So you can see these are the three buttons in which one is sine is written, then cosine and tan. You just have to press that tan button and then your angle, which is a 43 degree, and you will find the value for that. Is it clear?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other question from any other participant? So I'm just recalling what we have done in this whole webinar. We have learned the fundamentals, the ratios, trigonometric ratios, how we can find that, and how we can find the values according to the given sides or according to given angle. And then we have solved some examples or the application to the real life problems. And now, once again, we are very thankful for everyone's participation in this webinar. We hope you found the content helpful and informative. Please share your feedback by taking a short survey at the end of the webinar. Your inputs will help us improve and present better content to you in ongoing basis. Also, all the attendees will get access to trigonometric formulas along with some more MCQs. You will get some more MCQs also to test your skills. And thank you everyone, and hope to see you again in the next webinar.